Well, good evening. As you can see, I'm here, Mr. Andy Fairweather Low, who's dressed in a very nice tour jacket by the looks of it.
No, it's my. I played tennis today. I'm a big tennis fan. Played paddle tennis yesterday. Like to keep up with it. It's the only way we can stay reasonably fit.
Well, I play badminton, so yeah, racket sports, yeah.
You bet. And
I've just been playing. I was playing Kerry last night. We almost killed each other because we're both too competitive. Really,
it's a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I got a hernia playing badminton.
Really?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, I've had 2 of them.
Yeah, I've had 9, by the way. Yeah, so it's not a competition, I know, but yeah.
Well, brilliant. And the reason, of course, Andy is here is because he played fantastic guitar on Neverland. We've had no end of great comments about that. So I think the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to do we do a thing called the record spin. Okay. And even though this hasn't been released on vinyl, we still do a record spin for it. So I'm going to spin the record. It sounds like this. Back up on screen.
Oh, right, there you go. I see what you mean.
There you go. Yeah.
Ask me, son, what's on your mind? Said I've been wondering and worrying about the only answers I can find. They knew him as a preacher. He drove a kind of funky car. In those days I was walking, I always called him Pa. Everybody's leaving town, but I can't shake this monkey off my back. I see the clouds rolling in. I was fixing to put it all on black. So I talked to the preacher. I asked him, Pa, what you gonna plan? He said, I'll ride the devil's coattails back to Neverland. I had dreams of busting free, but I ran myself into a wall. I hitched on down to Mexico to find another way to fall. Forgive me, Margarita, I think in Bloody Maria's spell. How long she keep me dangling? As Chuck would say, you never can tell. Maybe, just maybe, I can dream to find another day. But something from the chasm says it was always gonna end this way. So I talked to the preacher, told him all my dreams are sticks in the sand. He said, come with me across the river, back to Neverland. Now there's a great big crack in this land. So I'm walking with the preacher and I'm talking like a possessed man, pushing 1,000
Nice sound, Al. Nice guitar sound. Thank you.
I think there was an extra special round of applause because of you tonight, I think. Yeah, we were just when that was on, we were just talking about guitar sounds. And when we recorded Andy's guitar here, I really just slung a mic in front of it, but his cabinet's got loads of bass end on it. And because we were mixing and matching between the two solos, I then had to really tweak my sound to fit it in with yours.
Well, I was doing it the other way around. I was trying to fit into yours, because when you played me the track and your guitar was already on, I thought, well, I don't know what I can do here. But it fitted really well, and you captured whatever I did out there. You captured it really well. I'm very great. I love it. It's neat. I'm very proud. Thank you.
That was a great pleasure. Yeah, great pleasure. It was great to have you on. And it's funny when I wrote the song, because it's a relatively recent song. It's probably only about 2 years old or something like that. I really did picture that kind of guitar sound, and we may have even known each other then, because I think through the guys in Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, no, we would have certainly took a couple of years ago.
So I was probably in my head going,
we were the wedding band.
That's right, we were
at my son's wedding. That was great. I really enjoyed that. It worked out really well. A bit of a rehearsal. It was in Paul's house.
Yeah, rehearsal in Paul's house. Yeah.
And then I got to see his Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm a car man. I mean, can't afford them now, but I love that car. That's a proper car. I'd have had it in a different colour though.
Right.
I'd have had a blue or a red.
Right.
Because I think it was sort of brownish or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
so if you're going to have a Mustang, you want it to be bright enough for people to
sunshine.
Go, what was that? When it went
sunshine colour.
Well, I was. We were just talking about in-ear monitors, weren't we? And I got talking to Graham Gorman about in-ear monitors at the 10cc gig. But who was in backstage was the other big car collector from Pink Floyd, Nick Mason.
Really?
Nick Mason, because he lives just outside Bath. It was a Bath gig that we went to see him.
He is a lovely man. When I played with Waters, every now and again, Nick would come as a guest, and when he played, they'd set his kit up right next to I played bass for most of that gig.
Yeah.
And his kit would be there, because Graham, the other drummer, would be always on the far right of the stage.
Yeah.
It's never in the middle. So there's plenty of room to put another drummer. And we're doing an American tour. And someone said to him after the first gig, which was in New York, are you coming to Cincinnati or Milwaukee? He said, oh, no, I only play the big cities. I mean, I don't really, do you play much? Have you practiced? No. But I'm very good at the after show party. An absolute fabulous guy. Yeah, he was great when he came along. It was always good fun. And him and Roger have that history together. And I know there's darkness floating around all over the place in that setup, but not between Roger and Nick.
Yeah.
Well, and Goulman, back to Goulman.
Yeah.
Man, those songs.
I know.
God.
I know. And he's still great. I don't know if I told you this story, but I told him. I basically, before we went to see 10cc, I thought, I heard some of his recent stuff, and it was really good. And I put a little playlist on. The first 4 songs, and I thought, he is like Paul McCartney, really still on form. And this is his most recent album, like 2 years ago. And the 5th track come in, and I thought, I don't like this song that much. And I looked at it, it was Paul McCartney. And it wasn't that was just, just amazing. But yeah, what a great collection of songs with the 10cc guys, but also previously to that with the Hollies and after that with Wax as well, with Andrew Gold, him and Andrew Gold.
Really?
Remember? Building the bridge to your heart. It was a kind of big, yeah. So him and Andrew Gold did a load of great tracks.
What was the Andrew Gold song? I can hear it in my head now.
The Never Let Us Slip Away is the biggest one.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But Lonely Boy was pretty good as well.
Oh man, it was an exciting time. That kind of music, we will not see the lights again. Many people will be very happy, I suppose. But that was a different time. A different time period.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
I mean, we were lucky to have lived through it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was lucky to be around and playing guitar in a period when there'd be a Roger Waters and Eric Clapton or George Andrew, whoever, was Ria Van Morris, whoever I played with. Because there's no place for what I do now in any of the bands I see out there.
No.
You know, it's not like, well, let's get Andy in to do what? You know, because they're covered. They're either jangling, they're all bits, they're covered. They don't, there's no spot for a second guitar player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, not for what I do.
Yeah.
And the truth is, whenever I played the gig, I just turned up, and I played. But I'd be pointed slightly, but never seriously pointed. Because if I was seriously pointed, I'd most probably leave. Because I'd set people. I played with Van at one point, doing one of the songs with Van, and I'd worked out this part on the song, and it was a bit sort of haiku. I'm tuned to a chord. Real gone was the name of the song. And I've worked it all out. And he looked at me and he went, "Tink, tink." And I'm thinking, you can get anybody to chink.
Yeah.
You want to chink, you chink. But if you got me, then you got me.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. He didn't get me and I didn't get him either. So it was by mutual agreement in the end, after 6 months. Fabulous songs.
Yeah.
You know, fabulous songs.
Yeah.
Just, he's just, I'd say he was tricky and he would say I was tricky, which is all right by me.
Yeah. Yeah, but he did his. I mean, and this is why people keep employing you, because you're easygoing as well, and non-judgmental. Because people like Van, everyone's got their stories about him, and everyone's got this and that and the other, and he did this and that and the other. But he is who he is, you know, and you can decide how long you want to do that for, and when it's time to actually go. Nah. Yeah,
I met him. I got the gig from doing the Wall in 1990 in Berlin with Roger Waters. He was on there, and we sort of got on well, so I met up in Belfast, flew over, we talked John Leoga, Lightning Hopkins. That's about the most enjoyable conversation I think we've ever had. And then we got on the road, and remember the monitor guys we'd lose, because he'd have a fit over if he picked up his harmonica and with his bullet mic and it wasn't on, he'd literally stamp on it, have a tears, and then the guy'd be fired, and then we'd have to get another monitor. Georgie Fame was in the band. Man, it was a great band. Richie Buckley, Steve Gregory, Badger Rogers on bass, Dave Early on drums, and Fame and myself. I loved it. There's a great clip, The Late Show on BBC too, where we've gone in and we're doing a couple of numbers from the Enlightenment album. And that was the tour that I was on, and you can see this clip. Everybody admits Fame is there, and it's going up, it's going up, and he's scowling. We're all pissed off because he's created such a scene while we're doing this rehearsal, as if to say, why am I doing this? And then someone pointed out, because you agreed to do it. Right, and he went to the floor. He said, "Right, we got one chance. Let's get this done now." So we're rattling. There's been tension all over the place between him and the floor manager, and you can just see we're going through it. But oh man, I'm so glad to see the back of that gig. But great song and great to work with Fame. I'm a huge fan of him from the time when they would come to Cardiff and play, or Newport. With the Blue Flames, or I'd see him in London, and we will not see the likes of him again. So, and he's not well at the moment, so I'm not sure if he's back on the road. But I've seen him so many times. He's been on 3 of my albums, and I've been a Blue Flame. Right. I joined and did a couple of gigs. That was an honour. I love him, and the fact that he was there was a good connection for me and kept me there. But then it was time to leave, and time to leave.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's like, if I can't contribute to a gig, then get someone else to do it.
In the end, certainly with Roger Waters, and he is a good mate. When he did the Live 8 or something, where they all got back together and they played Hyde Park. Up until that point, most of my gig was playing bass.
Right.
He had two other guitar players. I mean, I got one solo, I think, when I played in that gig, but generally play the bass. And he went back to playing bass.
Right, yeah.
And Comfortably Numb was one of my favourite numbers for playing bass, because when it got to the end, first of all, I would stick to the part, and then as it went on, I'd sort of I'd get involved. And every now and again, Roger would pull me back. And as he was walking off stage after we were finished, he'd look at me and go, "That was very bouncy." Meaning, rein it in, you know, just stick to the part, you know. So yeah, he was good. He was good to work for. Very gracious. But the moment he went down, that meant less for me to do. Some acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And then it was so little. There were two other guitar players, and I'm in backstage in the dampness in some stadium in Chile, watching other people play, and I've got a grandson, and I'm thinking, you know what? I want to play. I want to play. And then when it came to the wall, that he was going to go back out, because I did the one in 1990, and then we were going to do the other one. And he said, "Are you coming out to do the wall?" And I said, "Hey, Rod, there's very little for me to do in Dark Side of the Moon, bit on that section of it.
Yeah.
There's even less.
Yeah, on the wall.
Well, and I'm not even playing the guitar." And I went, "It's not enough for me to do." And he said, "Oh, we'll find something for you to do." And I went, "Launch, and that's fabulous." But no, I got to play. And I just released Sweet Soulful Music. And I just had to go, no, I got to promote that. I'm 65, and I want to then. And if I'm going to want to be a guitar player, known as a guitar player, I got to stop playing with other people and actually play. Which is what I did.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Well, I think we should play something. Should we play something off Flying Down? There's a reason for playing something off Flying Down, because there is a quiz question. It's not to do with the Korgis or me or anything like that today. It's to do with Andy. So we'll get to the quiz question.
I might have to answer it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not allowed to answer it.
Andy, I never liked him.
I think we're going to start with Somebody Wants My Soul.
Yeah, me and love it.
And this is a rather great song. I'm going to turn the mic off, though.
So much is all about nothing. So much is just right or wrong. Well, there's a whole lot of money. There's a whole lot of trouble. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. Sometimes I fool myself that I might know who I am. I'm more than one, I'm less than two. I've stepped on too many blue suede shoes. I'm all messed up, but I don't give a damn. Somebody wants my soul. Somebody wants my soul. There's nowhere left to run. There's nowhere left to hide. You can swing low, Somebody wants my soul. There's nowhere left to run. There's nowhere left to hide. You can swing low chariot, but I ain't gonna ride. Somebody wants mine. I can't square the circle. I can never seem to do what's right. Every day I see shadows. I'm still waiting on my lamp to light. I got a ghost on my back, 27 birds singing on the wire. I'm drowning in the water and I'm burning in the fire. I'm not what you think I am. You are what you think I am. Somebody wants my soul. Somebody wants my soul. Somebody wants my soul.
Well, that's a rather great track, I think.
Well, it's obviously I'm subjective on it, but yeah, I'm very happy with it. Done at Rockfield with just myself and Paul Beavis. And that drum sound, I can just hear that room in the coach house. That's Rockfield.
Yeah.
Plenty of air. Great snare
And you
drum.
did the whole album. You were just saying the whole album with Paul Beavis, with just you and him, working through things.
Yeah, because I do my demos at home with I got a little Boss 1180.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can't stand about it, apart from the fact that I'm not really proficient at the machine itself, is that I have to use a drum machine.
Yeah.
And then after a while, the sound of just before it starts, and the monotony of the same thing with no fill. And I thought, well, yeah, I love my demos. It's all in mono, but it's got a real gritty sound to it. And I thought, when Kingsley at Rockfield offered me the time for nothing, I might add,
wow,
just come down.
Yeah.
Come down, be good to see you. And I went, all right. I did pay in the end for the following 2 other weeks, but and I thought, no, we'll have Paul. You can so he'd follow the patterns that actually worked out.
Yeah.
And then he'd add other things too. Oh man, he's a fabulous guy. Just
that's what we do with the Korgis as well. Is I program drums to begin, and I just program some. I might change some bit here and there. I'll put some odd fills in, but then we'll rework it with Paul, and we go, okay, well that was a starting point. You know, that was a starting point. Now, what else can we do? What else can we bring to the table that might be a little bit
talking
fun?
Talking about what else? Joe Jones was the engineer, and I'd arrived with my little amp setups, the one I bought here, and then I had a small Ascot amp with an 8-inch elliptical speaker, which I used to plug in and really just overload. And I'd show Joe, and he'd go, he said, you should try my tape recorder, Paragraph tape recorder. I'm not so sure. That's the sound that's on there. And on a couple of other tracks, I'm plugged into his tape recorder. Man, I was going to take that on the road.
Yeah.
You know, you got to recreate some other kind of stuff, just overload something. But that was a
different sort of overload, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those things. We've got a bit of a quiz question, and I'm going to grab this. I'm going to stick it up on the screen. And behind there, we'll get to that a little bit later, but behind there are Andy's tour dates coming up in a little bit. But can you read that from there?
Yep. What is the connection between Andy Fairweather Low and the Eagles? I mean, obviously, someone might know the answer and they might not.
Well, I want to have a wild guess at it, but I haven't looked it up, so I don't actually know what the answer is. But we'll concur. We'll see whether I'm on the right track.
A real sort of serious and long relationship, certainly between me and sort of the connection of me and the Eagle.
Right. There we are. And I've got the first correct answer wins, but a detail helps. I'll put that because you can't put a vague answer and it be right. Let's give us as much detail as you can. That was good. We have a load of people. Oh, sorry, I meant to stick that up on screen just in case you didn't quite hear any of that or something like that. I'll stick it up on screen. What's the connection between Andy Fairweather Low and the Eagles? First correct answer wins.
Hotel California. He stayed in.
You wrote Hotel California.
I stayed in it. I didn't write it. No. No, he's got lion eyes. There you go.
There we are. So we have loads and loads of people on tonight. Paul Griffin, who's one of my songwriting partners, but also been a big Korgis fan for a good while, and he's been very excited that you're coming on. We've got Mauro, who's in from Brazil, who often tunes in. We've got Ian Walters from Wimbledon. He calls it Wimbledon.
Oh, right.
Ian's from Wimbledon, and Ian was reckoning that you would have fitted in with Pilot because you.
Oh yeah, that old chestnut. Yeah. There's a couple of old chestnuts. That's the one. The guy who sang in Pilot, yes, and then there was the connection with the voices between Sting and myself. Believe it or not, it was. Because I was around before, but we were both on A&M.
Right. Yeah, well, it's that the way he hits that note in particular, isn't it? Where I can see the similarity there.
You don't have to step on the snake.
We've got Rick Nicholas, Rick Loverin, John Gamble. Nice to see you all here. Ingo, of course, I'm going to see you tomorrow because you're flying in tomorrow.
Safe travel.
Oh, James Jones. Oh, good on you, James. There's a few other people here who came on earlier as well. We're not writing as much on this tonight, so we'll try and answer any questions as we go along. I think we're going to play one more track from Flangdang, I think.
Okay.
And where is it? I've lost it now.
Was that Keep the Faith?
It is
Keep Your Faith, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. And this is another good. And I kind of looked up. I didn't know Flangdang, but I looked up a lot of it, and I went, "Oh God, actually, you've written all of this. This is all new stuff and stuff." Because I assumed that some of it would be older blues songs and stuff, which some of the new album, I believe, is. But we'll get on to that.
Yeah, no, that's the Invisible Blues, man. That's a separate issue. This was maybe last year, the year before, whatever. They were all self-penned.
Yeah.
And most probably, I'll give it a rest for a while because the definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Well, I've got to the point now. I'm not getting a different result. So, and I'm really proud of this album. So
and sometimes I think it's worth having a break sometimes from writing because you come back from a different angle.
Yeah, but
and things change in your life, and you come back.
The problem is, I'm 76. I've got to be careful of those breaks. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? You never know. Yeah. You got to be careful.
Don't break it for too long. Yeah. Okay, so this is Keep Your Faith.
There ain't no heaven and there ain't no burning hell. There ain't no heaven and there ain't no burning hell. We're just a stone against the flood. We ain't no more than flesh and blood. There ain't no heaven and there ain't no burning hell. They say Lazarus, he rose up from the dead. They say Lazarus, he rose up from the dead. How come that they should know? 'Cause I say that ain't so. They say Lazarus, he rose up from the dead. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Gotta take it in, shake it out, and let it run. Gotta take it in, shake it out, and let it run. That's just a way to get along. We'd all too soon be all long gone. Gotta take it in, shake it out, and let it run. Gotta get up on the train and let it ride. Gotta get up on the train and let it ride. When they say the end is nigh, I believe the truth is in the lie. Gotta get up on the train and let it ride. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. when you ain't wrong and I ain't never right. There'll be a meeting round the throne when all the saints come marching home. When you ain't wrong and I ain't never right. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Down in the valley, that lonesome valley, when you can walk it, it will set you free. Say what you want, say what you will. Everybody wants to be someone. Say what you want, say what you will. Maybe the best is yet to come. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs. Fight the good fight. Walk into the light. Be sure and keep your faith where it belongs.
Make sure you keep your faith where it belongs. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. That's a great one there. And yeah, I particularly like the brown decker. I think we did one of them at the end of one of the Korgis songs. There was a song called La La Land. And we ended with a fake kind of American anthem kind of tune.
Yeah, I'd have liked I'm a big fan of Taj Mahal. He had an album in the 70s called The Real Thing, where he had a tuba section. Like a Memphis horn section, but they were tubas. Oh, I still love that album, The Real Thing. And that would have been great if we could have emulated that on that particular track. He then made an album with that tuba section, a band, and it was called Gravity, the band were called, and Taj sang to a band full of tubas.
Yeah. There's a great tuba player who lives in Lanbraddock, actually.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever need a tuba player,
well,
we do cover the multi-tracking for you.
That is good to know, believe it. I mean, I'm at the moment, I'm shocked with writing, but it could work out for the Invisible Blues Man if there's a part 2 of the Invisible Blues Man.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
Give me that number. Keep me in touch.
So I think for the moment we're just going to move on to Neverland a little bit, which of course why you recently came in to play that, and I think I talked to you about doing something. I said I'd love you to record something, and I think you said I'd love to record with Wolfman.
I love that.
So we have the mask here. I'm not sure I should put it on because my accent turns into Cockney when I put it on. Don't know if it's I can do it.
It works a treat.
It works all right.
I saw one of those videos you made before I got involved, and I went, that works. I remember telling Paul and saying, hey, that really works, It's a good.
It was a funny thing. I did it just for one song, and then I thought, this might work for that. Then this should work with Neverland. And I think Neverland, we did a live version upstairs with Simon from Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Who, of course, hello, Pete Davey is on. I don't know whether Simon, you made it on or not, but we did an upstairs at Shabby Road live recording, which is where the video from Neverland comes from. It's actually a live recording, but I've kind of then manipulated it.
You're very good at that. You're very good.
Because the whole of the upstairs is kind of green, so I could subtract the green from some of it.
I've seen some of those chairs. I remember I've seen a video and going, oh, that looks like something from some fantasy space movie from the 70s or 60s. Yeah,
upstairs. We have those. And so when I was recording Neverland, I was thinking, all right, this is the one. This could be a Wolfman song. This could be a And
definitely
it's the time to get Andy in. Thankfully you said, yeah, I'm free. I'll come and do it. So it was brilliant. It was quite a quick session. I think probably about an hour, something like that.
Yeah. I was really impressed that it was all captured. Because in truth, you took pieces of. I didn't play whatever's on there. That is in one take.
You did a few different rhythm takes through it,
and you clipped a few little bits from there and a bit there, and I was really impressed. I remember, because I was flailing. I was just thought, well, play it and I'll have a go. And I had a go, and I thought, well, we haven't really got anything there. But I did have the central part fixed. That was fixed. But the other bit, and you just managed to pick a couple. Plus, as I did say, keep your guitar, please. Keep your guitar in and let's mix it together.
Yeah, well, we did in the end. I relented in the end. But I love the tone of your guitar. I thought was just perfect for it. Just leapt out of the track because of that bottom end on it.
The little growl on the bottom note.
Yeah, I know. So I think what we might do is we might go up and actually just have a look at the Sonar song here and just see. So theoretically, this is all of the stuff that we have here, of which there are. Where are guitars? Oh, there's a kit. Guitars are down here somewhere. Oh yeah, I got all sorts of kind of really weird reverse guitars and stuff like that. But if I grab a few guitars at once. Oh, I tell you what, maybe we'll just grab some guitars, bass, and kit or something like that, and that'll probably do it. And we'll get a bit of a flavour of what's going on here. Now. Sorry. There's almost nothing there, is it? It's almost nothing, but it's...
That's the note.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
And I think I described this as if your guitar has just come up from a swamp in Louisiana somewhere.
Yeah. We were looking for the wolf, man. Play with the Rolling Stones, Never mind Mick Taylor. Actually, Mick Taylor was absolutely fabulous.
Let's just move forward to one of the solo sequences somewhere, because it all works great. This does. This is coming into the main guitar solo in the middle.
You're up to just the end there. Sound like some 60s hippie guitars there, hey?
Yes, that'll work good for me. I love it. Just the whole groove is just set off.
I was really pleased.
Yeah, very nice. There's a couple of other kind of interesting things here. The BVs, I love the BVs on this whole kind of the whole section. Let's see if I can solo them. Maybe do a dim solo on that. Oh, sorry, I've done it the other way around. I've muted them instead of soloing them.
And who
that's I believe Elaine and myself. Yeah, it is Elaine and myself. So it's just a block of 3 parts really.
Yeah.
But a few people on those parts.
Yep.
more, do you? They're all a little bit awkward because it's changing between major key and minor key all the time. So just want to
it works a treat.
keep that blues element of it as much as we could through it. And there's one other item of interest in there. And I think when I got home and played this to Kerry, she went, "What's that?" And I said, "That's a nest of vipers, that is." See if I can find my nest of vipers. Where would they be? They'd be on the intros. Sorry, that's not it. Not quite it. Let's see if I can find them. And all it is it's me on a mic. Oh, here we are.
I'm in 3.
Yeah, here we go. Let's have a listen to this.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's a bit cold, isn't it?
Well, no,
So
we're
in the track
jungle.
though.
Oh yeah. Now you point it out.
I don't think it's just me on the mic. I'm like that.
Yeah, that's good.
But echo.
Yep. Yes.
Obviously, echo. Just
Obviously, yes.
Flutter about there. Very. A great track to work on that. Most of the other stuff, really, just peripherals. I mean, Paul's drumming on it is fantastic. He kind of really went for it. It was kind of interesting with Paul because when we first started working on the Korgis stuff, Paul was very much like, it doesn't need very much, it just needs me to do the groove. And I go, yeah, it probably doesn't, but maybe you could do more. And then we started saying, yeah, could you put more fills in? Could you just do more? And so we get to a point, probably towards the end of this song, where he's now bought into the idea of playing more.
And was he recorded down here?
Yeah, he's up. He's got a kit set up upstairs. So using the Marvin Gaye "Heard It Through the Grapevine" kind of.
Fabulous. Actually, you don't hear too many drum fills anymore on record.
Yeah, I know because of the
Producers
program.
go, no,
Yeah.
no.
Even Steely Dan, there's like, no, we want you to play the same groove all the way through now, But yeah, that all works for me. Great stuff, that is. I think we're just going to go back and repeat the quiz question. Just repeat the quiz question, and while we do that, I will also just have a little look through and see. I can see somebody had made a guess, but I just want to look through and just figure out that I haven't actually forgotten anyone. So the quiz question, going to go back up on screen. I can find my mouse. I keep losing the mouse tonight. Here we go. Back up on screen. What is the connection between Andy and the Eagles? And I'm just going to go up here and just have a look. Ooh, there's one. Didn't Bernie Leadon from the Eagles play on Champagne Melody? Glyn Johns.
Yeah.
Ah, that's an
Glenn
interesting one.
did two of my albums, Glenn. And 3 now with Sweet Soulful Music.
Because he used to do the early stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah. And I did, I produced an album with him, a guy called Craig Nutticombe. And he just got me working on everything he was working on, near enough. And Eric I met through Glenn.
Right.
I was staying at his house when Eric was doing Slow-An.
Yeah.
So I'd just be in the studio every day.
Yeah.
When Backless was on. When Glenn was doing Who Are You?
Yeah.
I'm at the house, and then Pete said, "Tell Andy to come down." So I went down, and it's me going, "Who are you?" Ooh, ooh.
Is that
And I
you?
did about six other tracks on there with him. But then with Glenn, Joe Satriani, David Crosby, Linda Ronstadt, Emmy Lou Harris. That's all through Glenn. All those sessions, all those albums were all through. And the Arms tour, I met Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page was all on that particular tour.
Right. There we
It's
are.
about you do need you need a certain amount of talent, but it's not enough. You need a friend, you need luck, and then you need to be in the right place at the right time,
Connections.
on top of everything else. Because I know when I go looking at, I hear the most unbelievable guitar players. If I go on YouTube and watch,
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad my road is near enough travel. Because if I had to start again, even at this age and with 60 years of playing, I can't cope with that. There are boys out there that are frightening.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, there is. However, I mean, and this is something I've always said, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be the best guitar player in the world. I was listening to all those American guys, Steve Lukather's, Larry Carlton was a huge favourite of mine. And I was listening to all those guys, practicing. After a while, I realised I was never going to be the greatest guitar player in the world, especially as some of these younger kids were coming up, and you had your Joe Satriani's and all of those people, pyrotechnical guitar players coming up. But I kind of stand by this. I actually don't need to be a better guitar player than I am. Because what I want to play is not something pyrotechnical. That's the same with you. And what you want to play is not something pyrotechnical.
No, and I through Glyn, I did a live album with Joe. We did 3 weeks in the studio.
That's right, yeah, you did.
With Manu Cachet, Nathan East, myself, and Joe. His amp's over there and my amp's over here. And it's live and it's me. You know, it was stacked. He was a lovely man, but it's like he invented the guitar. He could play faster than I could think.
Yeah.
So that was a different thing altogether. And what you need, all guitar players have a voice. Now, when B.B. King speaks, Freddie King speaks, and Albert King, I understand it. When Eric speaks, I understand it. The other language, I don't. There's so many people I don't. Grant Green, I love, Kenny Burrell, I love, and I kind of understand. But then there's another school out there that I'm not getting. That information is just, it's not, it's too much information for me, and I don't understand it. Whereas it's funny, those three kings, they all played the same guitars. It's electric guitars. It was a Fender, and it was this, that, and the other. But it was identifiable within seconds.
Yeah.
That it was them.
Yeah.
All the time. Not, sounds a bit like him. No, every time he picked up the guitar, it was B.B. King.
Yeah.
It was never B.B. King sounding like Albert King or B.B. King sounding like Freddie King. And by all of them. It's pretty man. That's the real secret. That when you pick up a guitar, the same guitar as someone else, and it's identifiably just you. And you can do that through the strings and go, that's an art. That's the real. That's where the soul comes into it. That's when you kind of know. Actually, you most probably don't know you got something. You're just doing it.
Yeah. But that's why they book you. But you were saying yes, you have to have connections. You have to be able to do the job as well.
Well, yeah, and I was lucky that I was doing the other job. I was never the main turn.
Yeah.
I was never the main guitar player because I couldn't be the main guitar player. But I could also. See, I've always used this analogy before. You can't have a team full of Ronaldos.
No.
You can have a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm in one spot. I don't leave that little area, and I take care of that. And I did that for 24 years, and then after a while, I did want to become Ronaldo. Well, actually, I didn't want to become him, but I did want to play more.
Yeah.
So I'd done my apprenticeship of playing parts and staying that round peg in the round hole, and then I'd learnt a lot.
Yeah.
Learnt a lot certainly playing with Eric. It was, and it wasn't like I wasn't being taught anything. I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching and listening and observing, and every sound check. Actually, we didn't have sound checks. Every rehearsal, every album we ever made, every video we were ever on, it was just, he'd just pick it up. He didn't practice. I practice all the time. He didn't practice because his whole life has been playing.
Yeah. So he's just playing.
He's just playing, and he's accessing the big secret with all guitar players to the point where it really works is if you can access your information. If I could access all the things I've learned, all the licks I've ever learned or bothered to, I'd be really good. But I can't. At that moment up there, whatever it is, it's cloudy. You grab this bit and you grab that bit, but not everything you know, which is rather good in that you kind of stick with I stick with a fairly straightforward voice, I think.
Yeah, you do, but every now and then you do put some really surprising things in. Every now and then I go, oh, where'd that come from? That was...
Well, that's another one of those things that at some point I'd learned. I remember we went to see, we were in Japan and it was a night off, and we went to see Earl Klug in the Blue Note in Tokyo. And
if you don't know Earl Klug, he's a nylon string guitar player, jazz player.
And he was fine, he was taking all the... And then towards the end, his second guitar player, who was an electric guitar player, he gave him a solo. He also gave one of his band members a spoon solo, which I didn't find particularly appropriate. But anyway, the guy played, and he was playing octave, like Wes Montgomery. And then for the next maybe, 6 months, if we were sitting around, and then I'd be messing, and X going, what are you doing? And I'm going, well, I'm trying to, I mean, I got rid of it in the end, but you kind of get focused on certain things. But you assimilate them into your style, don't you? So I saw you play a solo like that with Eric, where you did a whole chord solo thing, which was lovely, and very nice. And the great thing is, it's poles apart from what Eric does. Oh, well, yeah. And that's why it survives to a degree, in that, luckily, I don't get too many solos, because... in his band, if you're Derek Trucks, or if you're Albert Lee, or even if you're Doyle as well, they're soloists and they're proper guitarists. But Andy Fairweather, Eric would always invite me. We opened up for him this last May of 24. And it would come to the end of the night, or I'd meet him in the corridor. He'd say, "Are you going to get up tonight at the end?" And I go, No, I'm not. Oh, come on, Andy, what's the matter with you? No, Al, no, it's not me. It's just not me. It's not what I do, and I managed to hold off until the last 2 nights. He said, "Are you going to get up at the end of the night?" And I go, all right, then I'll get up. So I get up, and what do I do? I don't know. I can't hear what I'm playing, if you know what I mean. It's like, I don't know. And I don't... Andy, what are you going to do? Well, it's Eric Clapton. It's Andy Fairweather Low. It's black and white. It's not going to work. It's... So I did get up to that. It was no big deal. I couldn't really hear what I was playing, but it was good connection. I mean, it's good. He just wants you to. All my time with him was he just wanted me to be the best I could be.
Yeah.
It's not a competition.
Yeah.
He did because it's a non-starter. But it's no. Go on, Andy. Go on. All right. Well, do you mind if I don't? Because it's not what I do. I play the bits. I play the bits. I got the job for the George Harrison tour of Japan, and it was to play slide guitar, and I don't play slide guitar.
That's right. I saw you in the interview. Yeah. The intricate slide parts.
Really? and worst of all, when we even got there, I knew I was going to have to do "Gimme Love," which I could sing that solo. I knew it inside out. It was part of me, so I just had to concentrate. But when it came to "My Sweet Lord," we're doing that, and he goes, "Well, you do the intro," and I go, "I'm the rhythm guitar player, John. And I don't have to sing the song. I mean, you can do da 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 da, and then you're off with, Ari and all of that." And he went, No, you play it. And the thing about those intros, like the beginning of Layla or Tears, whatever they are, you better play them right.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what they're meant to sound like, and they are meant to sound like that. Yeah. Even at the concert for George, when we were doing that in 2002, I think it was. And Olivia wanted us to do George's recut version of "My Sweet Lord," because his slide playing, when we toured Japan, man,
his slide playing is unbelievable. He has such a light touch, and he just flicks between.
But there was a naivety about the recording of "My," he'd got fully on later on when we toured Japan with him. But on this thing, she wanted that version, and I said, all right, well. We'll have a look and we'll apply ourselves to it. And in the end, I had to go, we can't do it. Right. They're going to want, honestly, they're going to... I know it was his last bit, and he'd really work something else out, and it was fabulous and a bit more intricate. But they're going to, so it's myself and Mark, the other guitar player. So we did the two guitar parts, but on the tour for Japan, I did it on my own.
Right.
That was nerve wracking.
Have you got to like playing slide more?
No,
more?
I'm done. Absolutely finished with it. It's a bit like mandolin. We were going to do Unplugged, and Eric said, "You play mandolin, don't you?" I said, "No, I don't. I can play Malt and Barley Blues by Gallagher and Nylo.
Yeah.
What was it before? McGinnis Flint.
Right.
I can do that. Or When I'm Dead, I'm Gone.
Yeah.
A couple of chords." And he went, "No, we'll get you a mandolin." So they got me a D'Angelico mandolin. Fabulous. Thankfully, it sort of played itself in a way, and it was easy to play.
Yeah.
It was a fabulous instrument that spoke.
Yeah.
And I said, "What are we doing?" He said, "My Father's Eyes." And I go, "You know how many chords are in that song?" And even when we did Unplugged, I got, you can see it if you watch closely on the video of it. I've got triad diagrams of where to go, and my head's down watching this thing, and I wouldn't sleep because all my time, most of the other songs were strums. I could find stuff, but I knew I was going to have to play that song, and it was going to be live. So I spent so much time worrying about that, and then on the last but one day, he said, "You play harmonica, don't you?" I said, "I can play the front of natural sin, I can blow and suck." He said, "Because we want harmonica on San Francisco Bay Blues." And I went, "Oh, right, let's get one." And I got the harness. I mean, again, I tell my stories many times. But so I get the harness on. It's the day before. It's the run through before we actually get the punters in.
Yeah.
And I put the harness on and I put the harmonica in. And I've had a bit of practicing because I'm not sleeping much up with the mandolin and the bloody harmonica. And then it gets to me and my big dumb right, "Come on, Andy," and I go, and I blow the harmonica out of the harness on the floor. That was my only time of practicing. The next thing was the gig.
You're on the gig.
And we did get away with it. And my harmonica playing was more in keeping with Jesse Fuller, because in that it was simple.
Yeah. Right.
And all that. Whereas we had Jerry Portnoy then in the band later, who played with Muddy Waters.
Right.
And I thought I did a bit. Oh, God bless you, Jerry. I mean, it was. He got a bit complicated, and it's a suck and blow, It's not. You don't have to be a great harmonica player to do it. You got to have the right spirit, and believe me, I had the right spirit for that song. And
I played harmonica with one track with the Korgis. It was an old Stackridge song actually called Dora, which I could just about do that.
One other story. So I've been I was in a setup with Edie Brickell, who's Paul Simon. Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. So it's Steve Gadd, myself, and Pino.
Right.
And we did 3 albums. In fact, and 2 of them have come out. The third one's not come out. I don't know whether it ever will come out. But we're in the studio, and there's one of our songs, and Paul's come in, say hello, blah blah blah. And he's brought in the harmonica from the box set. So I got to play. I put some gaffer tape over the holes I didn't need, and I did that. And when I arrived on one of my trips, second time I went, or third time, I lost my hat. I was on my pork pie hat, which was kind of just part of me, and I'd gone off at the wrong terminal. Not, because I'm all a bit too excited, and I've gone, and the tube's gone, and my hat's gone. And I arrived in New York, and Edie said, "Great writer, man, constant." I mean, she'd write on the way in, and we do the song on the day. That's another story. What happened to your hat? Left it on the bloody tube. Right. Said no more. About 3 days later, she said, "Someone wants to see you." Well, I go outside, and it's Paul, and he's got a couple of acts with him, and he's gone. Right, that's the size, and he got these people to make me a pork pie hat. Worth and Worth they were, just on Fifth Avenue. Yeah, no, make you one. hack, Yeah, fabulous. He was a lovely man too.
Oh, well, what a band that sounds like.
Oh yeah, no, pretty spectacular. And we're doing the second album, and we get there, and then he goes, "Oh, we're going to do a gig." We didn't have a gig.
Right.
We only, did work in the studio. Where's the gig? Carnegie Hall. When is it? 2 weeks' time. Well, so we're doing the album, and we're going to do the gig as well. And
the great thing about the studio stuff is you only have to get it right once. You go, that was a great take, wasn't it? That was great. Leave it. Yeah, leave it alone. When you do the gig, you have to get it right every time.
Yeah, and most of the songs had because I was playing. She would have the songs, but I would play the guitar, and then sometimes she'd play with us. But generally, she'd give me something to do, and I would do it.
Yeah.
Or then I'd build on it, and so all the songs had an identifiable guitar thing that would either started or was very much part of it.
It's all you.
We had Larry Goldings on keyboard.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's amazing.
And Ronnie Cooper on sax.
Right.
And that was our live gig, with Steve Gadd and Pino. And Paul Simon's Paul's in the audience with the kids and the mother-in-law. And it went all right. It was, it was a bit tense to start with, but it really loosened up. And I think it was Steve Gadd's birthday too, so we, she'd written a song about Steve's birthday. Because Steve had played I think he played for 30 years or something with Paul.
Yeah, a long time.
And he'd done loads of stuff with Eric. He was my buddy on the road. Wherever we were, we'd run.
Yeah.
In the day, let's go tomorrow morning. Yeah, we'll go. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I did it in St. Petersburg, but not in Moscow. I tried. I nearly had a headache because it's no unleaded fuel in Moscow. But it did mean that we got out to see places as opposed to the airport, the hotel, and the gig. Yeah. So wherever we were, we'd go out for 30 minutes and then come back.
Yeah.
And if I came back, or if we came back, and it was 55 minutes, and I'd go, I'm done. No, Steve would have to go for the hour. He'd have to go for the 60 minutes. He was a definite man for it had to be this.
To be on time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want to do. We talked earlier about the difference between Eric's style and your style, of course. I was going to grab the live clip of Gin House Blues where Eric plays the solo, but I was then going to go on to yours and just play the end solo section because they're both fantastic, but there's a big difference between them.
Well, the difference is I'm not going to play a solo on the end of if Eric Clapton's there, and it was his gift to me.
Yeah. When
I was in the band, I was in Japan once on one of the many tours. Do Gin House, Andy? All right. Why? He sort of said, for service. For service. Oh, all right, yeah. And then one night in Japan, he went round 3 times. One and then he built it, and then he built it again. Yeah. And he has that facility. Yeah. The torque on his in car terms, it just goes and goes, and it doesn't dip. Yeah. He can build. And that was a big night.
Yeah. My interesting observation about Dave Gilmour is that he doesn't peak. But he doesn't dip either. He can do that for 10 minutes.
He's controlled, and it's not like a direct. There's other things. It's a theory.
He plays within it.
Yeah. And I've actually been on a gig with Dave next to his amplifier, and I'm not really getting it. Yeah. You go out in the audience, you're getting it. Yeah. Because it's something else, and all those solos. Having been on tour with Roger for 24 years, whatever it was, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Dogs or whatever, you need those solos.
They're written solos now, aren't they?
You've got to sing them. Take them out of context. Yeah. And I was allowed, I was the only one on Money. I got a solo on Money. There were 3 solos, usually, and I had one of them, and I was allowed to be me. Right. So I was completely out of context, but I was allowed for that. And that didn't last. That didn't last for
before you were reined in again.
Yeah. In a nice way.
Here we are. This is Gin House Blues. I'm going to stick it up on the screen.
Oh God, that's New York,
Yeah.
2013.
some gin. Somebody give me some gin. I want some gin.
Well, that wasn't bad, was it? Coming back down to us. But interesting, I just want to grab the end of your version of it.
Yeah.
And this is from the new album.
It is
isn't it? The
Invisible
Invisible
Blues
Bluesman.
Who said
There we go. This is the radio edit. I'll leave it down with us. I just find, I think it's somewhere around here.
Yeah. Corrugated iron there. Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Somebody give that boy some gin, for God's sake. So 1967, we recorded Gin House,
Yeah.
in Corner, and by accident in that we got the audition
Yeah.
because the guy from the record company who came to the Streatham Locarno to see us didn't in fact see us. He saw the band that was on before us or
Right.
after us. But had phoned the manager, say, tell Ron King, our manager, tell him to be in the studio 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So we arrive, we're all set up, and the guy says, no, Walker, where's your trombone player? And we go, we don't have one. But the other band did. So he said, oh, right, well, as you're here and all set up, we might as well play something. So we played Gin House. And that was it. That was the beginning. That's what I mean. You need that
Yeah.
that kind of. We lost in a competition with the band I was in called the Sack Maniacs in Cardiff. And in that competition was a band called the Eyes of Blue from Swansea.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And they won the competition. And then they went on to London to the Enemy, whatever concert it was at the Palladium, and they won that. And they got a record deal.
Yeah.
But they didn't have Ron King as their manager. It was all very dodgy goings on for us to be
Yeah.
successful, and we were successful because of other people making sure we were successful. And poor old Eyes of Blue didn't get to choose their song.
Yeah.
They were told, what to do, and it wasn't what and they were just a great band all around. And
Yeah.
deserved winners of competition.
Yeah.
Not that I ever liked coming second, but there's a point where you go, yeah, they were just better.
I did a similar competition in Sheffield in about 77, 78 or something like that, and the people who won it were a band called Son of a Bitch, who later became Saxon.
Oh,
Changed
right,
their
there
name
you
to
go,
Saxon.
yeah, okay.
And their prize for winning the competition was the record deal.
My prize for losing another competition in Bristol, Opportunity Now it was called.
Right.
We came second, and our prize for coming second, there were 7 of us, and we had a discotron, transistor radio.
Right.
You put 45s in. I lived with that thing. I put it up my ear in the van going to a gig. I'd have my Booker T single. I loved that thing. Yeah, discotron. It didn't last. In fact, I never saw them anywhere else. They were probably the last 7 that were made. And so I'll give it to them, yes.
Yeah.
They're losers.
If you
They
think
can
with
have
it being up that way, then probably how are they holding the needle?
No, it was fabulous. I actually had a record player in my car,
Right.
in the glove compartment.
Right.
Put 45s in there. I had all them, all my switches in the door. I had a TV. It was a 2-seater. 2-seater. I had a Sony TV in it. record player, bit of a cooler just behind my head, in a 2-seater.
Oh, gosh.
Rock and roll, and it was pink. Oh, I think about that says it all. Well done, Andy. That most probably summed up my personality now, because I'm not sure I could get in a pink car now.
Yeah.
Unless it was with Parker.
But it was the 60s,
lady.
wasn't it? So,
yeah, it was, yeah. And Elvis had a pink Cadillac too. So.
And Leonard had done his pink Paisley Rolls Royce, hadn't he?
Yeah.
So
it was those,
pink was in. Pink was the new black.
Yeah, you had to be there. Yeah.
We do have a winner of the competition. In fact, we said this ages ago. Yes, Glyn Johns was the
producer
connection.
Yep.
Glyn Johns was the connection with the Eagles.
Bernie Ledden.
And Bernie Ledden and Joe Walsh to an extent. Was Joe Walsh to an extent? No, you met Joe Walsh, but
yeah, we met and played with Joe Walsh, and also the Paul Carrack connection.
Yeah.
But it's Bernie Ledden as well, because Bernie is on Wide Eyed and Legless.
Yeah.
The Eagles have been playing Wembley with Beach Boys and Elton John.
Stackridge.
Really?
Stackridge were on the same bill.
Great day.
But not with James in the band, because James had been sacked. Because they just done the album with George Martin, and they didn't tour with the same band afterwards.
It was a great day. The sun shone, and the next day the Eagles went out to Glyn's house,
Right.
and then Glyn said to Bernie, well, I'm in the studio at Ramport with Andy. Why don't you come down? And he came down, and the first thing he played on was Wide Eyed. Keeping in mind, there's a few chords in Wide Eyed and Legless.
Yeah, I know.
But he played by the national system, 1, 2,
1,
3, 5, whatever. So it was kind of, write the numbers down, and he was off and running, and then he was on Bebop and Holler. If I work with Emmy Lou, Linda Ronstadt, Stevie Nicks, it was me and Bernie playing guitars together, because it was Glyn, and it went on that for a very, very long time. And we were going to be in a band together a couple of years ago with Ethan Johns and Jeremy Stacey and Bernie. Nothing ever came of it, but we did kind of hook up and give it a go, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it fizzled out.
Yeah. Well, especially with everyone, I would assume, is relatively busy.
Yeah,
That's what gets in the way.
That is the issue in that I had a trio. We were in myself, Paul Carrack and Nick Lowe.
Yeah.
3 acoustic guitars, no band. We'd go and we did a couple of festivals. It was a good.
Did you do it like a songwriters thing where you do one of another?
We do a lot of country songs.
Yeah.
We do like Prime Times by Ray Charles or whatever. Shelley's Wind of Love, and then we do Peace, Love and Understanding, Over My Shoulder, Half as Nice or whatever. So it was kind of karaoke, but in a real good way.
Yeah.
And we played some festivals, and it was, to this day, it would have been my golden ticket in that it's the only time they play a song. I'm Nash. I think Paul Stills. Yeah, and Nick is Crosby. And that was it. It was Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I would naturally just hit the note. Paul would naturally hit that.
Yeah.
And it was like a block within a second.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Whatever the song was, good, we're in.
Yeah.
And we're all in, and we're tight. I did a version of Don't Walk Away with Me.
Oh, I love that song.
Actually recorded it with them as well. But it's not going to come out, but beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. We had, but the only time I was busy, they weren't busy, and when they were busy, it was never going to work out. But it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was delicious, absolutely delicious, and lovely people, Paul and Nick. Yeah. I opened up for Nick quite recently. I found my slot in life. I will ever be the opening act. So I opened up for him at the Palladium quite recently, and then with Paul, I guess, he's at the Albert Hall. I mean, they're fairly well established.
Yeah.
One day, Ma, one day. But it's great. They're lovely people.
Yeah. Yeah, proper songwriters, proper musicians. You know that the music is their life. Sorry, we should say, we think, Rick Lovering, we think you were the competition winner. We think you are.
Congratulations.
if we're wrong. Tell us if we got it wrong, because we have got it wrong before. Talking about sort of stuff. And you can probably catch up on this later. This will be on the YouTube thing. You can see what everyone's saying at the time. But so they're saying we can listen to you all evening. That's what they're saying.
Are you sure they're not going? Usually it's. I never liked it.
Yeah, we can listen to you all evening, but we need to go and have our tea now.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
They may have already had it. What I would say, there's a couple of little bits of news. Paul Griffin, who is on here at the moment, Paul Griffin and I have a single out, and we're in the Heritage chart at the moment. We've gone up to number 34. So we're saying vote for us. And we'll see if we can get further up the chart. It's from an album I did with Paul. In fact, it's lying around here somewhere. It's somewhere, I can't find it now, but it is there. And it is a song called Get to the Frontier, and it's a kind of Cold War song. It's about someone who goes around Eastern Europe looking for trains, but they fall foul of the law, you know. And so I inserted it into my Putin and Trump the musical, and I invented the idea that maybe Trump in his younger days was this person who went around looking at trains, and he fell foul of a young KGB agent called Vladimir Putin, and that's where they first met. And so there's a whole kind of story there. That probably leads us on to, I'm just going to give you a tiny little taster. This is, we're performing this on Saturday. This is the finale for Putin and Trump the musical, and this is called the Cold War finale. So I'm going to stick it up on screen straight away because I don't want you to miss any of this. Good fun. I got the whole Red Army in here.
Oh, we like that. You're very good. You're very good.
Translation in Russian.
This one's gonna be so much better than the old war. This time we're really gonna make the town red. It's red, it's very red, it's the greatest red.
I think you might be onto something there. You need to have a word with Cameron McIntyre.
It's good timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good timing for it. Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah, that's a kind of a little fun piece of it. It's only about 7 songs, so it lasts about 25 minutes. I did it as a second part of opening the second set, let's say, and then we'll let all the hilarity die down and do some serious music afterwards. So that's good. The other thing was the Korgis were in The Guardian this week. We bloody were.
Come on.
There, in the middle of this somewhere. There it is. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Very old picture of Andy and James, or James and Andy, talking about writing. Everybody's got to learn sometime. It's from Joe Matera.
Great song.
Did the article.
Great song. Oh, really?
Joe Matera did the article, yeah.
Man.
And he also interviewed David Lord as well for that, so they got both of their takes, James and David's takes on how that all worked. Yeah, so there we are.
Thanks for introducing me to Joe. Yeah,
that's great. Because he did a great little interview with you.
He did, and then he asked me, was there any chance I could get in contact with Bill Wyman, which I am in contact with him all the time, and I said, well, I'll ask him, and I'll be damned. He said yes. So put them two together. So, because believe it or not, he's 83 and he's working on he just finished an album that's come out. He's working on another album. There's hope. There's absolute hope for all of us.
That's it. Yeah. We're never too old to do another album.
Yeah. No. And an article in the Guardian. Well, I'll be.
Yeah, I know. That's good. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, Putin and Trump the musical. This is this is the script. This is going to be on sale. If you look in there, there's a little DVD in there. But also, if you don't do DVDs, there's a QR code for downloads as well. They're in kind of all different formats. It's the actual script for it, including all of the songs, and the cast at the back. Cast are all there. Yeah. It's all good. Each one of these, this is actually number 1, but each one of these is numbered, and of course, the author is happy to sign them. So they'll be on sale on Saturday.
I think you've got something. I think the timing's right for Putin and Trump the musical.
I keep thinking of new titles, you know.
Well, no, don't change the title. Just...
No. I mean, new titles for songs keep coming all the time. You know, my latest was "Take One for the Team." You need to take one for the team. You know. So yeah, that's all going to be going on. It's going to be great. There's that gig. The next couple of Korgis gigs are, of course, really early February, and then we've got Hangar Farm Arts and Crier Arts, and the couple of months ago after that. Chapel Arts tickets are now on sale for July. Took ages to come up. My fault. I'm afraid I didn't send them the right info in time, but that's all on there now. So grab a ticket if you want one for any of those. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Andy, for joining us. Good fun. We'll have to do that again.
Yeah, no, good man.
We'll have to do another song.
Well, sort of write me into Putin.
I'll write it. Next time I'll get me... Yeah, well, you know, who knows?
I'll polish the bone spear, man. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, all right, great. Just see if there's anything... Yeah, they're still talking about Bernie leading and all sorts of stuff. Thanks so much for all your lovely comments, Guy. Yeah, that was very good fun. We do have, of course, the video for Neverland that we're going to play out with. No. We have something else that we really, really, really do need to do. We need to give you Andy's gig list, because Andy is just about to go on tour. I'm going to stick that up on... I'm going to do better than I just did there. I'm going to stick it up on screen. Yes, here's his poster, the guys in the band, and lots of dates on there. You get them on his website. If you just Google Andy Fairweather, you get straight to his website. The dates are all on there. That poster's on there. And you're going all over the place. Yeah, mind you, we're not breaking any new territory. They're places we've all been to before. We're working on it. Work in progress. For guitar players who need to know, that guitar is belonged to J.J. Cale. Really?
He gave it to Eric, and we're supporting Eric in Belfast, we're having a picture session done. Yeah. And I went up to him, I said, any chance I can borrow that guitar for the picture session? Shoot. And so that was it. That was all I ever got. I just managed to hold it for those picture sessions, and that was it. So I played J.J. Cale's guitar. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, go catch Andy on one of those dates. Check him out there. There's too many to read out.
Yeah, no.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, we are.
All over the place. And between February the 6th you start, and then ending on March, end of March.
Yep.
Beginning of February, end of March.
2 months, we'll give it a go. See what happens. See if we can make a living at this.
Yeah.
Might have to take up another job.
Thanks so much. I'm going to play out with video for Neverland. Here we go. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.
Any second. No, I haven't got that right. There we go. There we go.
Now.
Right.
I slid open the curtain. He asked me, son, what's on your mind? Said I've been wondering and worrying about the only answers I can find. They knew him as a preacher. He drove a kind of funky car. In those days I was walking I always called him Pa. Everybody's leaving town, but I can't shake this monkey off my back. I see the clouds rolling in. I was fixing to put it all on black. So I talked to the preacher. I asked him, Pa, what you gonna plan? He said, I'll ride the devil's coattails back to Neverland. Dreams of busting free, but I ran myself into a wall. I hitched on down to Mexico to find another way to fall. Forgive me, Margarita, I think in Bloody Maria's spell. How long she keep me dangling, as Chuck would say, you never can tell. Maybe, just maybe, I can dream to find another day. But something from the chasm says it was always gonna end this way. So I talked to the preacher, told him all my dreams are sticks in the sand. He said, come with me across the river, back to Neverland. Now there's a great big crack in this land. So I'm walking with the preacher and I'm talking like a possessed man. Pushing 1,000 miles an